Hey! I literally think I just heard I don't know if that picked up on camera.
On March 21st, 2025, in a remote forest in Slovakia, a man set out for a peaceful camping trip with his dog. That morning, he took a quiet hiking trail near his campsite, just a simple walk in the woods with his companion. But before long, the calm outing turned into something far more dangerous. As he followed the trail, he passed a mounted camera aimed straight at a narrow clearing ahead. He thought it was a little unusual, even remarking on how precisely it was positioned in such a remote area. What he didn't realize was what that camera likely signified. Trail cameras aren't placed at random. They're usually set by hunters, researchers, or park officials in spots with frequent animal activity, often where large predators are known to pass. That camera's placement should have been a warning. Without knowing it, he was walking right into a busy wildlife corridor. Moments later, the calm of the day was broken. The situation escalated fast, but in the end, both he and his dog made it out unharmed. Looking back, the trail camera wasn't just a coincidence. It was a silent warning, a sign that this area was being monitored because something dangerous was known to pass through. And this time, that danger came uncomfortably close. The Bored Pirate is a channel dedicated to the creator's love of sea glass. Most of his videos show him searching for sea glass along beaches, often spending hours on the hunt. However, this time he decided to explore a much more dangerous location near an active volcano, and things soon took a surprising and unexpected turn.
I think I'm coming up on the beach. Looks like there's a lot of goats or sheep over there. Oh, really slippery. These rocks are covered in algae. And there's just sharp stuff everywhere. It's really dangerous going to landfills. But sometimes they're gold mines. Oh man, that backhoe just covered me in fire. Oh, that sucked. Didn't know if I was gonna make it out of that one. Wow, I got a little filthy. Like I said, it's a dangerous job, but somebody's got to do it. Let's see if we can find some sea glass. Hey goats or sheep. Yeah, man. Yeah. Almost covered. Had to hold my breath for a minute there.
He ran over sharp debris and slippery rocks, holding his breath to avoid breathing in the hot ash cloud. He really risked his life. Visibility was poor, and one wrong step could have sent him crashing onto sharp iron bars, which could have ended badly. He wasn't lucky with the volcano, but he was lucky to get out alive. No piece of sea glass is worth putting your life at risk. This is Bear, known for his high adrenaline nighttime explorations, but tonight's adventure is different. He's joined by his wife, Tiffany. Together, they're heading into one of the most unsettling forests Bear has ever set foot in. Longtime viewers will recognize it as the same place where, a year and a half earlier, his tent was torn apart and strange growls echoed through the trees. From the start, the mood is both chaotic and oddly lighthearted. Bear cracks jokes and introduces the Love Box, a snack-filled surprise for Tiff, mixing in a bit of campfire romance. But beneath the laughter, there's an undercurrent of tension. Tiff's nerves are clear, and while Bear stays outwardly relaxed, he knows exactly what this forest is capable of. As they approach the campsite, they spot unsettling signs. Not just bent trees, but whole sections of the forest seemingly rearranged.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look how overgrown.
Almost just looks like we're driving through the woods.
Oh my gosh, what if we puncture something?
Let's hope that doesn't happen. Then we're stranded.
It's almost as if the forest itself is trying to keep them out. When Bear first arrived, 2 large trees had fallen across the trail, blocking the way. He moved them aside, but the message from the woods felt clear. You're not welcome here.
Check that arch out, babe. That is a big sign in the Sasquatch community of Bigfoot. I guess they do things like that. I know, that's creepy, ain't it?
Satellite?
It's like a satellite dish, yeah.
The tension keeps building. Strange noises echo through the trees, shadows seem to shift, and a constant hissing sound lingers in the air. When Tiff reaches for the flashlight, she realizes the batteries are already draining fast.
It's only got... Oh man, where are we at? We got 2 bars.
Bear keeps up the playful mood, making foil-wrapped campfire pizza, but even he can't brush off the noises coming from the woods. Whistles, crunching leaves, and footsteps, sometimes slow, sometimes quick. They even try Bigfoot calls and tree knocks. That's when it happens.
Whoop! Here's a good knocking tree. This skinny one right here. Give that a couple cracks. All right.
What freak was that?
I don't know. What was that?
Okay, let's go.
That was a new one.
2 whistles echo back from the darkness, clear responses to their calls. Then comes the scream, loud, human, and unmistakably real, carrying from deep within the woods. Tiff freezes. Bear's tone shifts, low and serious. This isn't a camping trip anymore, it's survival. They start moving, trying to find the trail, but the forest now feels unfamiliar, almost as if it's changed around them.
Man, we gotta be careful. Somebody destroyed a tent here. That was a scream in the woods.
Jerry.
Bear catches what he thinks is a shadow near the fire. Tiff says it's time to leave. As they head for the tent, more footsteps follow. Then everything goes still. A heavy, suffocating silence settles in, the kind that makes you certain you're being watched. By 3:30 a.m., Bear is still lying awake, listening. Tiff, drained from a hospital shift and the long hike in, finally drifts off. That's when it happens again. Footsteps, louder this time. Then the tent shakes, whether from a tree or a body, it's hard to tell. But now, Bear is fully on alert.
Do you hear that? Oh! It's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. I got to go.
Bear grabs his gear, shakes Tiff awake, and rushes to get them out. But now, the flashlight won't turn on. They're fumbling through the darkness, trying to reach the truck. The keys don't work. The doors stay locked. Then, from right beside the tent, a deep growl cuts through the night.
And just keep it, just in case something happens.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
As Bear later described it, the growl was deep, guttural, almost human. It felt intelligent, angry, like whatever was out there had been watching all night, waiting for the right moment to let them know. They finally made it into the truck, locked the doors, and drove off. This wasn't just another eerie night in the forest. It felt like a warning, a deliberate show of presence. And for Tiff's first Bigfoot outing, it might be enough to keep her out of those woods for good. So, what do you think was out there? Bigfoot, a skinwalker, some other cryptid, or something even darker, hiding just beyond the firelight? Ben from the YouTube channel Cascade Trekker shares his solo camping and outdoor trips across the Pacific Northwest. In this episode, he sets up camp in a quiet forest clearing, ready for a calm night outdoors. Everything seems normal at first, but it won't stay that way. Ben doesn't yet know that he isn't alone.
There's a bear. Hey, man. How's it going? So,
the bear sighting. My main concern is that he doesn't come back here. You know, it's gonna be dark soon. I'll be in this flimsy tent.
Not long after setting up camp, Ben notices a black bear nearby. It keeps its distance, but with night closing in, the timing couldn't be worse. His worry now is that it might come back after dark, and if it does, there's not much he can do. He pulls his backpack into the tent, making sure no food smells are left out to draw it in. It's a careful move, but the uneasy feeling has already set in.
I'm not really scared. I should be, because he ran pretty fast. Looked really strong and healthy. Yeah. He was right here the whole time. What do you want? See? There he is. Huffing away up there. What do you want? Come on. I'm not leaving. Get out of here. Dude, I'm not gonna leave. Go away. I can make noise too. Go on. I knew it. Listening to me from right over there. And he's just somewhere up on this slope. Come on. He's a feisty one.
Ben tries to keep his composure, but it's clear things are getting more tense. With darkness closing in, his best option is to stay alert and light a fire. He could pack up and leave, but he chooses to stay. This is his camp, and he's not ready to give it up.
He's still up there. I didn't hear him leave. It's probably going to be a long night. Trying to put the scare into that guy.
It's not a perfect plan, but it gives him a small sense of control. He even brings his helmet into the tent in case the bear comes back and things turn dangerous. It's an odd precaution, but out here, it makes sense. When you're alone, even a little protection can feel like a lifeline. As night falls, Ben sits by the fire for hours, listening, not just for the bear, but for anything that might be moving in the dark. Before finally turning in, he secures the campsite, tightens the perimeter, stacks the firewood, and sets out makeshift weapons. He even fashions a spear from a broken branch before heading to bed. It might seem like overkill, but when you're alone in the forest with something powerful nearby, you prepare for the worst.
I took every precaution I could to protect myself in case he did. I think the smartest thing for me was that I brought my helmet into my tent to put it on in case he attacked. I think mostly the guy was curious. You know, this is probably a familiar place for him. And not too many people come back here.
By morning, the bear still hadn't come back. That didn't make the night any easier. As Ben put it, it wasn't about the weapons. It was about showing a physical presence, dragging logs, snapping branches, making noise, anything to make the bear think twice. This wasn't a trip about chasing the paranormal or battling a storm. It was a real encounter with nature, unpredictable and potentially dangerous. Ben relied on instinct, preparation, and a level head to stay safe. He'll likely camp here again, but this night was a reminder that when you're alone in the wild, things can change quickly, and no matter how ready you think you are, nature always has the final say. In April 2025, Gage Towles was fishing at night on his boat, tucked under a bridge where a few other boats were also out, people relaxing and enjoying the evening. Suddenly, a 40-year-old man named Brock sped through, coming way too close to the other boats. One guy nearby shouted at him for almost crashing into them. 2 days later, Gage was back fishing under the same bridge when Brock showed up again, this time accusing Gage of cussing at him the night before. That's when things took a serious turn.
What, like 5 in the morning?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, that was the dude in that boat. Were you the one that came through the middle of the bridge? Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I was here, but you ran in front of the other dude over there. Bro, you ran right through the middle of the bridge while we were all fishing.
In the middle of the night, the guy didn't have any lights on.
Bro, we were all fishing here.
Didn't have any lights on.
All right, bro, I'm not gonna do this with you, bro. I'm not gonna do this with you, bro. Like, it's not the right time, bro.
You know the laws?
Bro,
Regulations?
bro, you can't come flying through the middle of the bridge, bro.
Yes, I can.
All right, bro. All right, bro. What are you trying to do, bro?
What am I trying to
What are you trying to do, bro?
You want to go?
I don't want to go. I want you to get the out of here.
Big tough guy?
Tough guy? You pulled up on me,
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
Nah, I'm fishing you. Like, bro, get out of here. Like, what? What are you trying to do? Act like a tough guy in front of your buddies?
No, I'm not. Dude, all these know I'm tough, mother.
Bro, all right, bro.
You know what?
Get going, bro.
We're all war veterans. We're all raised.
Well, thank you for your service, bro.
And you're going to talk
Thank you for your service, bro. But that doesn't give you the right.
million.
All right, bro. All right, whatever. I appreciate you for your service, bro. But you don't got to run through the middle of the bridge, bro.
Dude, if your guy doesn't have his lights
That's
on,
not my guy, bro. That's just another dude, bro.
you have to have lights on.
My lights were on, bro. My lights were on.
Somebody hits you, guess what happens? You nothing happens to me.
Right, okay, bro. Keep thinking that.
No, that's the truth, dude.
All right, bro. Keep thinking that.
Put your lights on.
Bro, my lights were on. I wasn't sitting there. Okay,
No matter how much Gage tried to explain, it wasn't him. Brock only got angrier. He started moving closer to Gage's boat, and that's when Gage truly began to feel scared.
Me too, bro. I'm out here all the time, bro.
I'm 300 days a year on the water.
All right, bro.
Every day, I'm the best charter captain you'll ever meet in your life.
All right, bro.
If you cuss me out.
Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Please, bro. Please, okay, please, bro. Please, bro. Please, bro. Bro, I'm a kid, bro. Please.
Apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You're gonna cuss me
All right, bro.
in the middle of the
No, bro. Please, bro. Please,
back to my
bro.
boat.
Okay. Please.
You apologize.
I'm sorry, bro. That was not me, bro.
Yes, it was.
I know it's here, but my buddy was
Take
on the
me
boat.
back to my
Sir,
boat.
I'm a kid, bro. Please, bro.
I don't care. You don't cuss me
Yes.
out.
All
and
right.
talk to me, mother.
Sir,
You don't do it.
I'm sorry, man. I wasn't like cussing you out,
Yes,
though, bro.
you were, dude.
I was driving the boat.
Did
Okay.
you not call me?
No, bro.
Yes,
that
you
was
did,
my
motherfucker.
friend on the. Okay, I'm sorry.
Brock seemed to believe that calling himself the captain gave him the right to behave that way. While Gage and the others probably should have had their lights on for safety, that's not how you teach someone, especially a kid, that they were wrong. Showing up 2 days later with no evidence that Gage had cursed and accusing him out of the blue was immature, especially coming from someone who claims to be a veteran and experienced captain. Boarding a kid's boat to intimidate him and demand an apology for something you're not even sure happened? That definitely looks bad. After the incident gained attention online, Brock was arrested and charged with burglary and assault for boarding Gage's boat and threatening him. He was released on bond, faced additional boating violations, and is now facing legal consequences as the case moves through the courts. Snow and Kurt are a couple who live life on the road, traveling in their van and spending nights in all kinds of different places. Their videos are always fun to watch, but like any lifestyle, especially van life, they also face tough moments. In this video, they're on an adventure somewhere in Central America in 2021. Back when COVID-19 was still a serious issue. They struggled to find a place to camp, but were lucky to finally find one, at least for the time being.
All right, so we got here to Playa Hermosa, and we had to do this little river crossing right here to get out to the beach. We're out here on the beach, and we have a really nice spot. There's a family here. But other than that, we're out here by ourselves. We have a beautiful view of the ocean and the islands. But I have a little concern. I talked to the guy. He said there's no problem with the tide coming up to the van. We should be good there. But the concern I have is this river is getting higher actually fairly quickly. And so I don't want to get stuck on this island, because if we get an unusual high tide, we're stuck. And it's not going to be too much longer before we can't even cross this and we're stranded. And I don't want that. I already told Snow I think we're safe on the island, but I've been watching this little spot for about 15 minutes and it's just not worth it, guys. So we're going to try to do something else. I don't know what. Kind of running out of spots out in this area, so I gotta go talk to Snow and see what we're gonna do. I was watching it kind of go up, and it looked like all of a sudden it was going up pretty fast at kind of an accelerated pace. And look at it right now.
They had to find a new place to camp because the island was at risk of flooding, so they hit the road again. After passing a police checkpoint and driving for hours, they finally reached a beautiful spot near a waterfall. But as night came, heavy rain caused a sudden flash flood, turning their peaceful campsite into a dangerous situation. They got stuck on a tough road, unable to move forward or backward as the water kept rising around them.
Okay, you want the umbrella?
No. Oh, the river. We gotta get out of here.
Okay, honey, okay. Forward or backwards? Well, I don't know what to do. I
know you don't. That's why.
I mean, I can't see.
I understand.
Would we better just pulling up in there, right in here?
Snow, help me. Don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
don't need suggestions. I need help. You gotta look in the mirrors.
Holy crap, look at that. It's just a short gap on the road before it turns into the road again. You're gonna try to back out or turn around?
I don't know, hon. I'm just going.
Okay. Oh, Curdy. I don't know. Oh.
Help, don't panic. Help.
I'm not.
Help, mirrors, I need.
Keep going.
I can't see on my left side.
You just gotta go.
Well, I can't. I'm running into a new tree.
Okay, pull forward here.
You gotta look. I need help.
What I think you should do is...
Look for objects. I don't need instructions. I need you to look for objects.
You got nothing on my side. Nothing. If you come over to the right, you will pull up on a grass next to a fence where another car is parked. Which may
Don't let me hit it.
All right, so you need to turn back your way. All right, keep going. Turn back your way. All right, straight. Stay straight. You got 2 or 3 feet on my side to get around this tree. You got 3 or 4 feet now. You're around the car.
I gotta get closer. I'm just
Okay.
All right, guys, we were trying to surprise you. We're parked up here at the top of a waterfall. Beautiful vista. And all of a sudden it started pouring down rain, and this river started coming down the road that we were in. The waterfall, the whole river started rising. We backed up out of there in emergency, 4-wheel drive. You can see it. It is a river and a flood.
We are not out yet, Curdy.
We are not out yet. We got to get out, but I wanted to show you guys what's going on. We are in a river. We are going.
We should go. This is... I don't know where the case is.
They finally made it back to the road and got to safety. If they had stayed any longer, they might have been stuck for good. Their calm communication made it clear they were handling the situation well. Luckily, they escaped unharmed, and the van wasn't damaged. This experience highlights how quickly nature can change. Things can go wrong fast, and in those moments, it's smarter to act quickly than risk making things worse. While they probably wouldn't have been hurt, fixing water damage can be costly or even impossible. And when your van is your home, that's the last problem you want to face. Chris, the solo investigator behind *NKPS Paranormal*, runs a YouTube channel focused on real-time explorations of haunted and remote places. In this episode, he heads back to a dense forest in Kentucky, a spot he's explored before but never camped in overnight alone. It's already close to 11 p.m. when he arrives, and the woods are alive with sound. He mentions keeping a firearm and bear spray within reach, though it's clear his bigger concern isn't wildlife. It's the strange, unexplained things he's experienced here before.
So I'll get back to you after I set the tent and everything up. I'm already hearing noises. You can hear the bullfrogs plain as day.
Once his camp is set up, Chris settles into the tent and starts organizing his gear for the night. But before long, things begin to take an unexpected turn, sooner than he anticipated.
I don't think I'm gonna cook tonight. But... What was that? Guys, I'm hearing stuff walk around the tent. I've got the knife here for protection. Also got the PP back here. GUN.
Chris may be armed and ready to protect himself, but the sound puts him on edge. It's not like anything he's heard in these woods before. Still, this is the reason he came, to witness and record the unexplainable. Balancing tension with a hint of satisfaction, he stays calm and listens closely to the night around him.
Somebody out there? You heard them frogs? You heard how loud they were? Now it's quiet. Little bitty bugs, sure. Like you can hear them, like the cicadas, but
Chris notices it right away. The forest goes from loud to completely silent in seconds, a sign that something is nearby. The stillness is broken only by the occasional snap of a branch or faint rustle in the leaves. He waits, listening, until the frogs suddenly start up again. Whatever it was, it clearly moved through and disrupted the normal flow of the woods. By around 2 a.m., hoping to connect with whatever might still be out there, Chris sets up his Melmeter and REM pod inside the tent, placing them close by. He also starts the Spirit Talker app, and almost immediately, the devices begin reacting. For several minutes, he asks questions and gets consistent responses, enough to convince him that something is indeed there. What Chris doesn't know yet is that the most unsettling moment of the night may have nothing to do with the paranormal at all.
I'm gonna give you all a few more minutes, and then we're gonna call this quit with this stuff. Then we're gonna go out and walk around and see what we can get into, see what we can find. And then we're gonna call it a night. Hey! Hey! What? That? Jesus Christ. Something just literally jumped on this tent.
Despair.
Who is out there?
The sudden hit jolted Chris, leaving him on edge. He told himself it might be an animal checking out the tent, but something about it didn't sit right. There was no noise before or after the impact, and the force behind it didn't match anything he'd ever come across in the wild.
I'm shook up, guys. Seriously, I don't have a clue what that was. Whatever it was is big. I pushed it away, and I didn't hear no footsteps.
It took a while for Chris to calm down. Still shaken, he tried to believe it was something harmless, but the thought of something landing on his tent without warning and without any footsteps stayed with him. Every instinct told him to pack up and go. Still, he stayed.
Calm down, Chris. Be logical. What could it be? I mean, what would jump on your tent? Or push on your tent? Whatever.
Eventually, Chris unzipped the tent and stepped out into the cold night. His flashlight swept across the clearing, scanning the ground and tree line. Nothing. No movement, no tracks, no sign of what had been there. It was a relief, but also unsettling. What could strike a tent that hard and disappear without a trace? Mentally and physically drained, Chris decided to call it a night. By morning, he said he'd managed to get some sleep, though around 6 a.m. something shook the tent again. Whether it was the wind or whatever had come before, he couldn't say. Still, Chris plans to return. There are things in these woods he wants to understand. For now, though, he leaves with the knowledge that something found him in the dark and slipped away without ever being seen. A popular solo camper from the UK, known for his honest and affordable outdoor videos, shared a video trying to prove that wild camping could be done for under £40 using just items from local discount shops. But he didn't realize this simple challenge would soon turn into an unsettling experience. He picked a small woodland near a public field as his campsite. The area seemed quiet, fairly private, and typical of the spots he usually stays at.
So 3 days ago I went shopping to a very popular food shop called Farm Foods, and just walking around the supermarket, and I noticed they had a tent for sale. A tent in one of the most popular UK food shops for frozen food. I've tapped into here, and that's going around supermarkets and stuff trying to find budget equipment. Now I've done go outdoors on bargains, places like that, but to go into Farm Foods and find they're doing a tent and a sleeping bag, well, obviously I had to buy it and get out and do this video, didn't I? Ooh, that falling. Wow.
He spent the afternoon exploring the area, making a simple meal and chatting with his audience during a relaxed live stream. As the sun went down, he noticed small groups of people walking on the far side of the field. They didn't come any closer, but it still worried him. Someone might have spotted his camp from a distance or recognized the location from the stream. To stay more hidden, he moved his tent a bit uphill, away from any clear lines of sight.
I've been laying here for a good hour and a half, and I think I'm going to have to open the tent door and make my presence aware, because it sounds like all them kids are in the woodland just down from here. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that. Just make them aware, but I'm here. Yeah, I think they're on the opposite side to all this. We'll just keep a listen out there. End of the day, camping's camping. I'm going to laugh doing videos like this. But when you're putting yourself in danger, because when there's 10 of them and 1 of me, I don't care what people say, you're crazily outnumbered. And I ain't falling for any tricks like that. Videos are for YouTube. Safety always comes first. But I'll let you know as it goes on.
As night fell and he was trying to settle down, he noticed a flashlight in the distance. The light wasn't random. It moved with clear intent, slowly sweeping over the area. At one point, it passed over his tent, paused briefly, then carried on scanning the surroundings. It was obvious someone out there was looking for something.
I showed people a reaction of someone in the, the trees with a torch walking backwards and forwards. I don't know if it's someone who subscribed to my channel who may be local and he's trying to find out where I am, trying to scare me a little bit, but I've seen the light flash now over my tent area. So we're going to get out and have a little look, see if I can see the light. The problem is my battery is only on 16% because the live stream flattened it, and I'm using my phone as well. But we need to get out and have a look. If I see the torch, I'm going to have to go over and ask him what his problem is, because I'm not having this all night.
He quietly stepped out of the tent for a better look and spotted several figures in the distance moving through the trees, carrying torches. They didn't speak or show themselves, instead seeming to patrol the edge of the woods, slowly scanning the undergrowth. Staying low and hidden, he watched as their lights moved methodically before the group eventually turned toward the open field and disappeared into the darkness. He went back to the tent, now far more alert. Whether it was a prank, someone who had found him through the live stream, or just strangers passing through, their timing and behavior felt too deliberate to ignore.
It's like they're looking for someone. Oh, get down a bit. That must be someone who's seen my live stream, who knows where I am. I need to come this way a little bit. See, lights there now. Got to be looking for me. Let's go that close to camouflage at the tent. Must be. What local followers to my channel. And they've come to find me. Right, well, I know it's a little bit poor light, but I'm going to make my way back to the tent. It's only here.
Falling asleep wasn't easy. Knowing that someone had been nearby with flashlights made the silence feel heavy instead of peaceful. By morning, the tension had eased but hadn't completely faded. The campsite was untouched and nothing else had happened, but the memories and feelings from the night before still stayed with him. This is Matty, the adventurous spirit behind the channel Matty Van Halen, known for his love of nature, freedom, and life on the road in his trusty camper van. But his trip into the Colorado wilderness on March 11th, 2023 became much more than just another peaceful night under the stars. Matty and his friends had found the perfect remote spot, quiet, isolated, and surrounded by nature. It was exactly what they wanted, but the calm didn't last.
Was that necessary? There's a lot of people out here. Okay, do what you want, bro. Alright, go ahead. Do what you want, bro. Do what you want. Do what you want. Have a good time.
Man, all you gotta do is just leave.
Not really, but you keep moving.
Just go.
Without warning, a thick cloud of dust swept in. A lone car came speeding across the landscape, doing reckless donuts and spraying gravel and dirt right beside their camp. Of all the open space around, why choose this spot? Trying to keep their cool, Matty and his friends walked over to the driver, but there was no apology, no explanation, just a sudden shift in his expression, turning cold and aggressive. Without saying a word, he gunned the engine and tore off into the distance. Still, something about it felt wrong, and it wasn't over.
Y'all had to pack up pretty quick and go. The guy came back in another vehicle. So it's at least 3 of them. I know it's 4 of us, but so I don't want to go. And this is not the first time this has happened.
Not long after, the man came back, this time with 3 others. 4 men now stood near the camp, and it was clear they weren't there for friendly conversation. Their tone was threatening. Their words edged with intimidation, and they hinted at being armed. Matty and his friends had no weapons, no backup, and no time to think twice. The situation had turned dangerous fast. They broke down camp in record time, every noise in the dark spiking their adrenaline. Whether it was some twisted intimidation or a genuine threat, one thing was certain: they needed to leave immediately. They escaped without harm, but the encounter left them shaken. Who were those men, and what might have happened if they hadn't acted so quickly? It's a stark reminder that in the wilderness, it's not always nature you need to fear. Sometimes it's the people you least expect. This video from the YouTube channel, Lou Rock, takes a slightly different path from his usual explorations. For more than 8 years, Lou has visited abandoned and allegedly haunted locations, capturing moments that slowly shaped his views on the afterlife. But on May 9th, 2018, he posted a video that unfolded in an unexpected way. A camping trip with his friends Joe and Todd began as a relaxed night by the fire, filled with laughter, stories, and the peaceful sounds of the forest, but soon shifted into something far stranger. Earlier that day, they had spotted something nearby, an old abandoned building hidden just a short walk from camp. When night fell, curiosity got the better of them, and they decided to investigate. The place was worn down and long forgotten, exactly the sort of location Lou had explored many times before.
Holy crap, that's a big spider web. Ooh, what's that smell?
Smells like sulfur, right?
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Smells like sulfur over here, real bad.
Real bad. What is that?
Right here.
What is that? Oh my gosh.
So what was that walking behind us?
Got chills. Got chills all over. Something was right.
This place could literally fall down at any time. Completely. Holy crap.
There was a faint, strange smell in the air and an unusual stillness around the building, but nothing that seemed alarming, at least at first. After a quick look around, they headed back to the campfire, unaware they might have just crossed paths with something they couldn't explain. It wasn't until Lou reviewed the footage later that he noticed it, a figure. It looked like a woman, or something shaped like one, dressed in white, and standing silently in the distance. None of them, Lou, Todd, or Joe, had seen anyone that night. In fact, the figure went completely unnoticed until viewers started pointing it out in the comments. At first, it's easy to miss, but once you spot it, you can't unsee it. The unsettling part is, there's still no clear answer. Was it just light playing tricks? A piece of debris that, from the right angle, resembled a person? Or did they unknowingly capture something paranormal? Whatever it was, that quiet camping trip became one of the most mysterious and talked about moments Lou has ever filmed. This video is from the YouTube channel Haunted Finders, hosted by Tom, a passionate paranormal investigator focused on exploring the thin line between the living and the dead through his spooky adventures. Tom's goal is to capture compelling supernatural events on camera and share them with his viewers. He's often joined by his close friend David, who has experience with unsettling encounters and supports Tom during their investigations.
What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
What the flip was that? What was it?
Somebody running or
It wasn't.
growling or something. It was like that.
That was directly behind me.
Come towards us. What was that?
Owl.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's an owl in the distance. Nothing. That was like a sigh.
The two decide to return to a location that has haunted them for a long time, Sherwood Forest, a place steeped in local folklore and whispered legends. It's also where they experienced a terrifying event on their last visit, one that left a deep impression, unsettling them, but also sparking their curiosity. After months of hesitation, Tom and David choose to go back, hoping to uncover the truth behind the strange things they faced before.
That were me, that were me, that were me.
No! Not that! The movement to the side of me.
Yeah, that's what I had. But it went like sort of
Yeah.
And then when?
Not that. I just heard movement though on the ground, like footsteps here.
My ears popping like that. Hey, my ears popping.
There's something around us now. It's coming closer. Whatever it is, it's coming closer.
Yeah, come on then.
Come on, do something else if you're here. Oh. Oh. Was that? What was that? It sounded like something threw something in the tree.
Yeah, somebody.
It's like it's circling us. It came from this direction then. The camera's gone out of focus.
They'd been exploring the forest for hours, their ghost hunting equipment actively recording as they tried to make contact. For most of the night, the woods stayed eerily quiet. No real activity or signs of anything supernatural. It looked like a dead end. Just as they were about to head back to their campsite, feeling a bit discouraged, strange noises suddenly echoed from deep within the trees. The once silent forest seemed to come alive, hinting that they might not be as alone as they thought.
What the flip was that? What the flip was that? Where I'm running towards? Where am I going? Oh, jeez. David, I don't know where I'm running.
Did you hear that? Sorry.
What was it? It was, I heard like a... like that sort of noise.
How did it? It was right in my ear hole. Oh,
Jesus! I ran towards the noise. I ran towards the noise and then realised where I was running.
It was like Abilene. Costello then.
Oh my god, that was scary.
They came searching for the unknown, and now they'd found it. After that unsettling moment, the forest went quiet again, unnaturally still. Every branch stopped moving, and every sound seemed to disappear into the night. Feeling drained and overwhelmed, Tom and David made their way back to camp. Thankfully, exhaustion took over, letting them fall asleep without any more incidents. Owen had planned a simple solo camping trip in the forest. He set up in his usual relaxed style, bringing an air mattress, blankets, food, and a lantern to make sure his tent felt warm and comfortable.
Guys, I just want to say, well, first the obvious. I dislocated my arm, so I'm not going to be able to film for a while, but that's unimportant. This video you're about to watch is honestly insane. I'm going to start the video off and I'm going to edit it like normal, but once stuff starts to happen, I'm going to leave it completely uncut. But anyways, make sure you watch the whole thing so you know everything that's going on, and let's get into this crazy video. As you can see, I'm still packing my stuff. I have my clothing in here, I have an air mattress and a lantern in this backpack, and I've got my power bank charging right here. And over here, I have my tent and my blankets. So let's go to the store and start getting...
He filmed himself setting up camp, making dinner, and relaxing as night fell. For a while, everything seemed fine, but as darkness deepened, Owen started noticing strange sounds. Sticks snapping nearby, soft rustling in the bushes.
Probably gonna inflate my air mattress and set up my bed. I just heard sticks now. I'm not even kidding. That way. I'm hoping that's just the wind. Is that a... I literally think I just heard a... I don't know if that picked up on camera. I hope it did. Bro, I don't want this to be a scary video. It was just supposed to be solo camping. But anyways, what I was gonna say is that once I lay down and my weight disperses, it's just fine. But I'd like to mention, this is literally my first time tenting in the woods, and I'm also alone. The only time I've ever been tenting is like outside of my house, and it's been with friends. So this is really new to me, and I'm kind of nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I really hope I didn't come underprepared.
Though uneasy, Owen tried to stay calm and went back to his tent to eat and rest. Around 2 a.m., he was suddenly jolted awake by the clear sound of heavy footsteps right outside his shelter. It wasn't animal rustling. These were distinct, human-like steps that moved around the tent, stopping here and there. Alone in the middle of the forest, with no cell signal and no quick way out, Owen took a deep breath, grabbed his flashlight, and cautiously stepped outside to see what was making the noise.
It is so dark out.
this, guys. I can't even see a thing on camera. It's so dark. Let me see if my phone flashlight's better. I think that's a little better. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely better. I'm just gonna use my phone flashlight. You know what? I'll use both. Here's my bike. Footsteps came from like over here.
The area was eerily quiet. Though Owen carefully checked the trees and bushes around him, he saw no one. Still, the feeling of being watched didn't go away. Then he noticed something unusual, strange markings on a tree near his tent. It was hard to tell what made them or why, but they added to the unsettling mood. He returned to his tent, trying to calm himself and get some sleep. But just as he began to drift off, the footsteps came back, this time closer, slower, and more deliberate.
Hello? I'm not sleeping here. I am not sleeping here. I'm shaking so bad. I'm packing.
He called out into the darkness but got no answer, only silence. When he called again, it was the last straw. Clearly scared and upset, Owen quickly decided to leave the campsite. He packed his things, grabbed his bike, and rode away into the night. He didn't stop until he was well out of the woods. Several hours after dawn, he returned to pick up what he had left behind.
Forgot I was recording that. I'm shaking so bad. Look at my hand. Look at my hand. Am I still recording? Okay, I am. I literally heard footsteps come from that way and go all the way around my tent. I said hello and no response. Invaluable. I'm gonna put the camera away because I'm gonna bike out of here very fast. After I cut the camera, I put my camera in my backpack and got all my valuables. I got on my bike and I left the forest as fast as possible, leaving my camp still set up, and then I went back and picked.
What makes this encounter especially frightening is the deep sense of personal vulnerability. It wasn't a direct confrontation with someone he could see, but a slow, deliberate series of disturbing events that pushed Owen's anxiety to its limit. He'd camped alone before, but this was the first time he felt forced to leave his campsite in the middle of the night. The experience left a lasting mark, not just because of what actually happened, but because of what could have happened. While hiking through the forest, this woman was stunned by what she saw.
Bro, does this not look like a person who's literally climbing this tree? What is that? Oh, it's like a nest? It looks like a shoe. I don't know. I'm not convinced that that's not like a person.
At first, it looks like a person hanging onto a tree branch, but the longer you look, the less human it seems. Some think it's been there so long it's almost blended into the tree. People interested in the paranormal suggest it might be some kind of creature using the tree as camouflage. Others believe it's just a strange, twisted branch. If anyone knows what this woman really saw that day, they're encouraged to share in the comments. Dan, a solo van lifer and content creator, had recently returned to the road after recovering from shoulder surgery and making major upgrades to his camper van. At the start of his video, his excitement about getting back to the nomadic lifestyle is clear. But what began as a promising return to van life soon took a troubling turn, becoming one of the most frustrating and unsettling nights he's had on the road. After leaving his hometown in Iowa, Dan made a few routine stops along the way.
Excited about the journey to come today. I still have to finish my final steps of cleaning my water tank. About 24 hours ago, I put bleach in my tank, and while waiting for that tank to drain, I finished packing up and organizing for the road trip heading west. After everything had been loaded into the van and the tank of bleach water had been emptied, the last thing to do was fill the water tank with fresh water and then hit the road a whole quarter mile down the road to fill up the fuel tank with some fuel. And once the van was full of gas, we made our way out of town, stopping at the overlook to take one more look at the river and get a couple pictures of the van before we head all the way west. But we have to take the opportunity to look at the flooded Mississippi one more time before we hit the road heading all the way west. The river has been steadily rising for the past couple weeks to getting the van ready, and it's been pretty crazy watching the water level rise so high that local businesses and buildings are starting to slightly go underwater. So a couple more pictures and then we're off for our travels. The largest reason that most people choose to live in a camper is to be able to travel, and while I'm excited to put some miles on, more than anything, I'm just looking forward to being landed in Colorado. Traveling's really fun, but it also can be really hectic and expensive, especially with this being the first road trip in a long time. Cassie the dog was pretty nervous. We made it about 2 hours down the road before pulling over for our first break. Cassie was pretty anxious, so I just wanted to let her out and let her chill for a little bit. And along with that, the van is overdue for an oil change, so I found a Walmart that had big enough doors to fit the Ford Transit in. Turns out it can be tough to find a garage that has tall enough doors to fit a high roof Ford Transit in it, especially with the solar panels on top. The good news is the van's going to fit inside the shop. The bad news is it's going to be like 2 hours until the van can get in for an oil change. So we're relaxing. It was very well needed. Cassie's been anxious as hell this entire drive, so it was good to be able to let her actually calm down for a minute. So we're just relaxing until a bay opens up. And once a bay opens up, I think Cassie and I are going to look to see if there's anything to do around here. We're going to go on a little walk, let her burn some energy, and then hopefully there's like a dog store around. We're in like a really nice like shopping center, so I kind of assume that there's like a Petco or something around here. I'd really like to be able to take Cassie in there and have her do something that's fun. So
During the oil change, something unusual happened.
Bite to eat for me, and we went to the Petco. Got her a doggy treat while we were there. I did find one drawer unlocked that I left locked in the van, and there was some boot prints in the back of the van, like the guys were messing around inside the van. Kind of weird. There's no reason to come back in the living space for any reason at all doing an oil change. I don't see anything missing, and I don't care. They're probably just checking it out. I do have the dash cam plugged in. It looks like maybe it was recording the whole time, so hopefully I can get that footage and put it in right now. There might be some really funny responses about the racing sim being in the passenger seat, but I'm gonna eat this burrito and then we're gonna hit the road. It's always fun eating at Mexican restaurants as I travel. Mexican food can vary so much from restaurant to restaurant, and especially state to state. I was trying to wait to get some Santiago's in Sterling, Colorado, but I caved when I saw this place near the Petco. Eating this mid-Iowa burrito not only has me more excited for Colorado for the burrito, but also has me thinking about camping in the mountains and how much I can't wait to have a good view. But first I need to get some more gas. This is the second fuel up of the trip, and after that we're meeting it for the long haul with a full belly, full tank of gas, fresh oil, and a happy dog. 61.81, so we're about $100 so far. We're not even out of Iowa. Goddamn.
When Dan gets back to his van, he immediately notices something is wrong. A drawer he'd locked is now open, and there are boot prints in the rear cargo area. Nothing appears to be missing, but the discovery leaves him uneasy. His dash cam might have caught whoever entered the van, but Dan chooses not to dwell on it and continues his trip. He heads west, hoping to reach Colorado by nightfall. After hours of driving across the flat, open plains, fatigue starts to set in. He eventually pulls into a campsite he found through a travel app. Remote, quiet, and seemingly perfect for a few hours of rest before moving on. But that's when things take a darker turn.
And when I looked closer, I found another tick on me, and another, and I pulled about 5 off of me before it hit me. How many are on Cassie? So as I was looking Cassie over for more ticks, I realized that the french fries were still in the oven, and I absolutely fried them. So it was just really seeming like one of those days. So Cassie gets a waterless bath, just spraying her over with the anti-tick and flea spray that I have, and then I get a nice sink shower, and for some reason I didn't use my brand new water heater. It was just all a little too much to take in, so I took a cold shower, and that really was a nice humble.
Not long after settling in, Dan gets the feeling something is off. He soon finds multiple ticks on himself, not just 1 or 2, and quickly realizes they must have come from the area around the campsite. Even worse, his dog Cassie is also covered in them. In a rush to get rid of the pests, he grabs flea spray and rigs up a sink shower to clean both himself and Cassie. But the infestation is too severe to handle in such a remote spot. By the time night falls, Dan is still itchy, uneasy, and exhausted as he crawls into bed. That's when a new, far more serious problem begins to emerge.
What's going on, bud? So I just woke up to the noise of something rutting around outside the van. I don't know if it was somebody at the back door handle or if it was just somebody bumping against the van. But we are parked somewhere that there should be no one near the van. And then I heard a loud belch. I got up and grabbed my safety device, and I haven't heard anything since. And that's when I realized somebody's trying to break into the van. I can hear somebody tugging on the door handle, and I am out in the middle of nowhere. And by this point in the day, I'm just irritated that my night's sleep is now going to be completely ruined, not only by the bed bugs and ticks, but by some Jimmy trying to break into the van. Normal person probably would have got up and drove to a new parking spot at that time, but I just truly had not one to give. So we tried to go back to sleep. I cannot sleep. Cassie's being antsy. I swear to God, there's bugs in the bed. I feel like they're everywhere. It's crazy. The dog's gonna act like she needs to go outside to go to the bathroom, but we can't go out there because ticks everywhere.
Around midnight, Dan hears noises outside the van. These aren't animal sounds. They're deliberate. Footsteps, movement, and the clear feeling of someone testing the rear doors. Someone is out there trying the handles, maybe even trying to break in. What had been an annoying but manageable night quickly turns into a possible threat. Alone, with no one nearby to help, Dan stays quiet, hoping whoever it is will go away. The noises go on for a bit. At one point, he even hears what might be a voice or a belch before everything goes silent. It's enough to shake him and bring up every fear a solo traveler has. Leaving in the middle of the night would mean stepping outside and packing in the dark, which could put him right in front of whoever is out there. So he stays in place, lying awake, feeling more tense by the minute. The tick problem, along with the fear of being watched or followed, makes sleeping impossible. Cassie is restless too, likely feeling his stress. By morning, nothing has improved. Cassie is still covered in ticks, so Dan takes her to a vet. He's clearly exhausted. What was supposed to be a happy, smooth return to van life has turned into a sleepless, stressful, and draining night. Uploaded in April 2025, this next story follows Australian content creator Tyler Thompson, who set out for a weekend of four-wheel driving and camping in Barrington Tops National Park. With upgraded off-road gear and a group of friends along for the ride, the plan was to test their equipment and explore remote bush trails. But what was meant to be a fun adventure quickly turned into a dangerous survival challenge, not because of wildlife or anything supernatural, but because of the weather. Even before they reached the trailhead, things started going wrong. One vehicle was accidentally filled with the wrong fuel, causing a major delay and forcing one team member to be towed home.
This was one of those adventures where we were met with problem after problem. Nothing really went to plan, and we ended up having to get out of the mountains as quick as possible with rising floodwaters. Our original plan was a weekend in Barrington Tops of four-wheel driving, camping, filming, and testing out the new Jack Ute. On the way there, Dad had accidentally filled his 3-litre diesel Patrol with petrol, meaning we spent our first day sorting out that issue before sending him home on a tow truck. So by the time we got up into Barrington Tops, it was late and absolutely pouring with rain. We knew there was meant to be some rain around this weekend, but there was way more coming than we expected.
By the time they finally made it to the park, heavy rain was already falling, and the dense trails were quickly becoming unstable. The group tried to adapt, setting up awnings and inflatables to shield their swags, but the downpour didn't let up. By the second day, water levels were rising fast. Trails that had been dry just hours earlier had turned into rushing streams, making even basic driving dangerous.
Well, it's a Saturday morning. We're up in Barrington Tops National Park for a weekend of camping, four-wheel driving, exploring, and it's absolutely pouring down rain and we're standing here soaking wet. How you guys liking the trip so far?
I reckon it's the best trip yet.
Nice and cold,
yeah.
rejuvenating.
We sort of knew it was going to be wet this weekend, but we figured we got the awning, we brought this like Opus inflatable thing, Laken's in there in a swag, we got the camper trailer, but we sort of didn't realise it'd be this wet. When we're here and it's just pouring down rain all night and all morning, we're kind of like, now what?
Yeah, it's just flogging down.
You know what is exactly what I think.
And now we're already here, so we got to do something.
Yeah, I think we're just going to leave the camper trailer and the inflatable Opus thing there. We'll pack up this awning, get in the cars and, I don't know, go for a bit of a drive and try and make something out of this weekend.
I was going to say traction in that thing, but
Unfortunately, getting out was far harder than they expected. The only main road out of the mountains was completely underwater. A shallow creek crossing they'd passed earlier had turned into a fast, deep stream, over 800 millimeters high, nearly waist deep, and far beyond what most vehicles could safely handle. After speaking with a local farmer, they learned of an alternate route via Mud Hut Road. It offered another crossing point, but there was no guarantee it would be any safer.
So it's just absolutely soaking up the Barrington Tops, and we had to get out of there, and this is one of the reasons we thought we're going to get stuck up in the mountains here, because it's just getting that wet, and we've come down and the road is flooded, and that's like not even thinkable about crossing. That's like deep out there. Like there's a marker here close, and that's 800 mil, 0.8 meters. It's going to be even deeper out in the middle, and it's just flowing out there. So we're going to get out the maps. There's pretty much like trees going down that. We're going to get out the maps and try and suss a plan, because, I don't know, everything is so wet up here. Like all our gear is so wet, everything is soaked, and we kind of want to get home at this point. What a weekend.
We're on our way to Gloucester. The whole bridge is just like half a metre of water, flowing rapids. The adventure continues.
So yeah, we just spoke to the local farmer, and he's given us another road to try out, Mud Hut Road. But he said there is a causeway on it, which we may or may not get across. But he said you may as well head up there and have a look at it anyway, which we're going to do. Short of that, we have to head right back over the tops and over out the other side.
The group checked the first alternate exit, but found it flooded as well. Faced with the choice of risking it or waiting, they decided to monitor the situation. Hours passed as they kept watch on the water levels. Fortunately, by early evening, the rain stopped, and the river began to slowly recede. When they returned to one of the flooded crossings, they saw the water had dropped by nearly 200 millimeters. It still wasn't completely safe, but the steady decrease suggested that with a little more patience, the crossing might soon be possible.
4 minutes to 6. We're going down to see if this water causeway has come down enough that we can try and cross it. Fingers crossed, otherwise, I don't know. We're stuck.
Still there. Still there.
It's not stupid because it's got a wind track, so it's safe.
It's like up to your, just above your knee. It's about your knee.
I was just watching back the video we took when we were here a couple of hours ago, and that thing has dropped probably nearly 200 mil. So it definitely is dropping. So that crossing should be crossable within an hour or two. It's down around 600 mil now. But while we're waiting for that, we may as well check the bigger main one, which is only about 15 minutes drive away, if that. So we'll go check that, see how that looks, and then work out our options.
The group began checking the road by measuring water depth, walking sections of the submerged path, and watching how the current moved around the vehicles. Once the water dropped to a safer level, they decided to try. One of the heavier lifted vehicles went first, equipped with a recovery rope in case things went wrong. The crossing worked, but the trip wasn't over. Beyond the flooded section, they still had to deal with damaged causeways, fallen trees, and landslides. In total, they tackled 6 more crossings, some forcing them to get out in the middle of the night to clear debris by hand just to keep moving.
I do want to reinforce to be extremely careful doing this, as the road may have collapsed under the water, logs can come down, vehicles can get washed away, and there is just a lot of factors to consider. We hung around for a further few hours, walked the crossing, test drove in and out to different spots to feel out the bottom and see where the water was hitting the vehicle, and made sure it was completely safe, where all the water was flowing under the vehicle and we were good to go. While not an expert, I have crossed hundreds of water crossings off-road in my four-wheel drive all across Australia of different depths and flow rates, and have a good understanding of what these vehicles can and can't do and what to be aware of. With the GQ being higher and heavier than the Ute, I made the call to drive back across and attach a rope to Lakin to bring him across just for that extra safety. And we made it. Unfortunately though, the adventure was not over yet.
Causeway number 5.
Yeah, so I think after that one I counted 6 more. They've all been concrete bridges and they've all been crossable. Like, I think we've timed it good. None of them we've had to drive through water, but some of them we had to dodge rubble. But this one we're going to have to clear that big tree there, and then probably clear some of that there too. It's what, 10:30 at night is the same thing we're doing, 2 weekends ago at the Chichester State Forest. We're out to bloody midnight. It's going to be the same thing tonight, but...
By the time they finally reached safety, the rain had stopped and the skies had cleared, almost as if mocking the chaos of the last 24 hours. Still, the experience left a lasting mark. Tyler and his team had the skills, equipment, and composure to handle the situation, but for someone less prepared, that same storm could have ended very differently. Sometimes, all it takes is rising water to leave you facing the harsh reality of having nowhere else to go. In a video posted by It's Bates, the YouTuber films a late-night outing with his friend Martin as they return to a spot they hadn't visited in a while. Shot in early September, what begins as a lighthearted vlog quickly shifts into something much more unsettling and mysterious. The video opens with the two friends laughing and reminiscing off-camera about a past visit tied to one of their earlier so-called cursed videos. Despite the sweltering mid-July heat, the place feels just as eerie as they remembered, and almost immediately, strange things start to happen.
Alright bro, what we doing today?
Bro, what's up guys? Right now, me and Martin, of course, posted up behind the cameras. You know, we're just gonna vlog and like see what happens.
Dude, it's super creepy. We haven't been here in a long time though.
No, I haven't been behind the camera like so long, guys.
Same bro. So this place is like as creepy as I remember it being.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna walk right now. You know, see where the trail leads us.
Dude, your camera is like flashing red. Did you not charge it? Alright, it's mid-July, bro. It's hot as hell out right now.
While walking along the trail, the camera briefly catches something that appears for a moment and then disappears. They didn't notice it at the time, but during editing, Bates spotted it and pointed it out, replaying the clip at full volume and telling viewers to listen closely. Right after a faint rustle in the grass, a strange, warped sound, part electronic, part whispered, can be heard. The fact they didn't notice it in person makes it even creepier. As the night goes on and it gets well past midnight, the two ride their bikes and start hearing strange, unnatural noises echoing in the dark.
What the?
Do you guys hear that? What?
That was that noise I heard from like way back there. Wait, let's go close.
From there. You don't hear that? That was like something like, you know, rustling in the freaking grasses.
Wait, where?
Right here. But it literally could be the deer, but like, you know, it's still creepy.
Yeah, I don't know. These like...
At first, the sound is similar to a cat's cry, but it quickly changes into something louder, more warped, and clearly unnatural. It seems to come from the tree line, but keeps shifting locations, pulling them in deeper. Fear creeps into their voices, and Bates even comments that it feels like something is trying to lure them. The tension spikes when they find what looks like blood on the ground, adding to the danger. Suddenly, a sharp scream cuts through the silence, echoing across the area. The sound moves, growing louder and closer, then fading again. As they follow it, they notice it's almost guiding them, the noise becoming strangely directional, as if something or someone is purposely leading their way.
It's like past midnight right now. You know, we're just here with the bikes.
Just put it here. We have been hearing this like...
We just came from Sam's place.
Down there.
His place. And now, as we were going home, listen guys. What is that? What do you think is that? Sounds like a...
Sounds like a... I thought that was a cat at first though.
Yeah.
I'm like actually weirded out right now. Yeah.
You hear that, guys, right?
There's someone there.
It's like luring us. Let's go a little bit further.
I swear there's like people here. Hey, come out!
What's an animal, bro?
Well, what animal is making that noise right now?
Bro.
Dude, don't tell me that's blood.
Oh, wait. It's red. What? This one also. Hello?
Wait, that's coming from like up there. Maybe we're all reacting. I still hear people, you know?
I feel like Fish Road right now.
I know. Dude, you hear that? That's like someone actually screaming.
Where is it?
Just now it was coming from there.
We were like, come here, get this guy. We were like, way back.
One of the most intense moments comes when they spot a flashing triangle of light on the ground, slowly moving away as if trying to draw them in. But instinct kicks in, panic takes over, and they run, hearts racing with fear and confusion. The next day, Bates and Martin go back to check things out. In daylight, the place feels less threatening. They find scattered clothes and shoes near the tree line, maybe dumped, but laid out in a way that feels too unsettling to ignore. They also see the same odd structure or object from the night before, hidden deep in the thick plants that grow about 8 feet tall. Then, out of nowhere, the same strange sound from the night before breaks the air again, this time in the middle of the day.
Same strange structure or object from the night before, an unreachable shape hidden deep in the undergrowth, surrounded by towering 8-foot plants. Then suddenly, the eerie sound from the previous night cuts through the air once more, this time in broad daylight.
Hi, bro.
What's good, guys? We were here yesterday.
Dude, you hear that?
1 a.m., something like that.
Yeah. But guys, yeah, we're back here. As you can see, this place goes on for like very long. They're like houses back there.
Look what Martin spotted there, guys. What the heck is that?
Like all sorts of like clothes. And look, there's like shoes here, clothes. It could be just like someone dropping off, you know, old clothes. And guys, look, this is the like thing we saw earlier, yesterday. Yeah, I don't know what the thing is.
Well, you can't even get close to it. Look, there's no path, literally.
I don't know what is that.
Or maybe like...
It could be whatever though.
And
Oh! Boy, that's the same
that's
noise.
the same sound.
Yesterday we heard it like... Guys, look, there's like 3 meters tall. That's like 8 feet tall or something.
Whether it was supernatural or not, the mix of tense surroundings and uncertainty sticks with you. The unnerving sense that something out there was watching, maybe even waiting. As always, it's up to you to decide what really happened. Skywatch Explorer is run by Mick, a UK-based creator known for his late-night solo hikes across moorland. His adventures often involve stargazing, setting up trail cameras, and searching for cryptids. Mick is no stranger to strange sights and eerie atmospheres, but during a recent solo trip to Hinkton Moors in Lancaster, he captured something that even tested his seasoned nerves. The purpose of this trip was to investigate an area with numerous reports of large black cat sightings, set up trail cameras, and do some night sky observation using his night vision gear.
Hey guys, hope everyone is well. Absolutely beautiful day. I'm over these Hasland Moors, Lancashire, UK, just in front of all these scratches on the tree that I have shown in a couple of videos, caused a lot of different opinions. Some people saying good evidence of big cat scratchings, while others say no more than deer. It is the exact spot. A big black cat was seen. Very reliable sighting, reliable witness. But who knows, I'm no expert. If you do watch all the videos, I do say in the videos, with anything like this, I'm no expert, we're just getting out there. So I'm here now, I'll show you guys in the daytime. I'm going to set up a trail cam just across from it and leave that trail cam out.
The area had already stirred debate among locals because of a nearby tree marked with long, deep scratches. Some believed the marks came from deer, while others were sure they were claw marks from a large predator. Mick didn't take a side, choosing instead to simply observe and document what he found. He arrived during the day, checked out the surroundings, located the tree in question, and explained the different opinions about its origin.
So there we go, you can see all the scratches. Some people saying a cat will scratch straight down, where this is very irregular. Could be deer rubbing up against this tree where there are antlers. A bit of noise going on. There is an old scrap metal yard not too far away. People say look on the floor, see if there's any fur, any claws in the wood. Can't see anything. I'll set up a trail cam, like I said. Hopefully that will solve it. Interesting though. So there we go, having a look in the daytime at that. Like I said, I'll be setting up the trail cam. A few people will be commenting saying there's not going to be a big cat with all that banging going on, but that banging doesn't go on all the time. First time I heard that, I don't know what they're doing. But it's usually very quiet in this area, especially over night time, no noise whatsoever. And agreed, that banging, you wouldn't even get the deer down here either. So in that case, what has done that? but it's not the case.
As evening fell, Mick returned to the site with his night vision cameras, planning to place a trail cam at the base of the scratched tree before continuing his hike across the moors. That's when an odd feeling began to creep in. While scanning the area, he noticed an IR light far off in the distance, something invisible to the naked eye but clearly picked up by his camera. The light was stationary and unusually strong, looking very much like the beam from another night vision device.
You guys, it's gone dark now. I nipped home for a couple of hours. It was 3 or 4 hours of dark. Got something to eat. Come back out. And a bit of cloud. But there are some clear skies. Set the trail cam up down near that strange, near them strange markings, I should say, on that tree. I have noticed an IR light occasionally showing up on these mirrors. I can't see it with my naked eye. Just with this camera, that's how I know it is IR. So I keep my eye on that. Must be somebody else around with a night vision. It's disappearing now, but keep my eye out for that and get further up onto these mirrors. See.
At first, Mick assumed it was just another hiker or nature enthusiast, but the light's behavior didn't match a normal camera setup. It flickered, vanished, then reappeared, this time near the path he'd just walked. He moved toward it, but each time he got closer, the light went out, almost as if someone was deliberately trying to stay hidden. Then he caught movement. Someone appeared to be standing there, watching from behind cover.
So, give me a second. There'll be a trail cam. See if it activates just as I walk along casually. Should do. I saw a light up when I was walking up earlier on. Didn't think it was in this position. Bit of movement, just move my arm about. I really like doing this because if it is a trail cam, it's going to record me walking up. I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong, but just keeping this camera around where that light was. It should have come on by now. Actually, it's weird. It was somewhere around here, and to me, it actually looked like it was fixed in the tree somewhere, which would make sense. That's what people do. Just let me focus this in a little bit.
As Mick continued searching the area, the same IR light appeared again, this time aimed directly at him. That was the moment he decided to leave. While he's always approached unexplained events with a calm and rational mindset, this encounter felt different, more personal and unsettling. The presence didn't act like wildlife, nor did it seem like another casual camper. Despite his experience with night photography and countless solo trips, the rising sense of unease was enough to make him cut this outing short.
What the I'm not liking this. Hang on. See? Somebody's moving around there. It's in that tree again, but that's moved. It was in the middle there before. Hello? Hello, I can see you through my camera with your IR. See it moving. Why is it flashing like that? So I'm walking down the mirror and I've just looked behind me and it's gone off again.
As he made his way back, the infrared beam followed him for a short distance before disappearing completely. When he looked again moments later, it was gone. Whether it was another night explorer, someone with bad intentions, or something stranger, Mick will never know, and maybe it's better that way. Kat and Andy's YouTube channel follows their family's full-time RV life, sharing the ups and downs of life on the road. Known for their friendly, practical, and often humorous take on nomadic living, their videos usually feature family routines, campsite tours, and daily vlogs. But on April 25th, 2025, their travels were suddenly disrupted by a real-world danger, a tornado touching down nearby in Ohio. Tornado warnings were already in place, with meteorologists across the Midwest predicting multiple supercells, damaging hail, and the risk of flash flooding in the area.
Right where Centerville.
Right where we Holy crap, should we go to the bathroom?
Huh?
Should we go to the bathroom? Babe, that wind is picking up like minute.
This is concerning.
Rain is just starting to drop. We are getting hit in about 45 minutes where our location is in Ohio right now. We really didn't know if this storm was going to be like super significant to our area. It has been confirmed it is. And so we are not wasting any time. We're just getting everything prepared. Gonna start getting ready to go in about 30 minutes. And we're not happy about it.
Kat and Andy were parked in their Airstream at a campground when the storm moved into their path, facing a danger they knew well but still took seriously. Unlike past times when warnings came too late, this time they had just enough notice to act. As the sky grew darker and the wind picked up, they quickly gathered essentials. They bundled up their kids, took the dogs for one last walk, and packed personal items into bags. Choosing safety over risk, they left the camper and went to a nearby hotel with a ground floor room, much safer than staying in a lightweight RV in the path of a possible tornado.
Starting to get pretty dark outside. Your car's locked. All right, let's go somewhere other than an RV.
Oh my gosh. It's not even technically here yet either.
Oh no, this is far from here.
Well, we have no choice but to go to our safe place because Target closes in an hour and this storm is gonna last for 3. The wall of the storm is just like off to our left, and it just looks like just party lights going off. You can just see all the lightning. You can hear just
party lights.
You can hear all the thunder. It just sounds like going off, and we just know that's gonna hit in like 15 minutes here. We have 3 tornadoes south of us right now. The closest one is 25 miles.
That would be nice.
Oh my gosh.
Hear that?
Oh, the wind just picked up so much. Okay, what's the plan? Just get in as quickly as possible?
Hold on, does that sound wind or is it?
I don't know. I think we just need to get the boys in as quickly as possible.
Even on their way to safety, the threat didn't let up. Tornadoes had already hit nearby towns, and more storm systems were heading straight toward them. Sirens blared, and radar showed new tornadoes forming in a chaotic pattern affecting several states. Once they were inside the hotel, the tension didn't go away. Watching live radar from their room, they saw tornado activity pass right by their RV park. Reports of flooded roads and multiple tornadoes touching down just miles away only added to the sense of danger.
We are safe and sound in a home 2 suites. Right now we're just like on the radar, watching all the different weather forecasters just pop off on all these supercells. There's so many tornadoes on the ground in surrounding states. So we'll see what happens when it comes through Ohio right now. But in the meantime, we are out of our camper. We are in a hotel room, the first floor. We have a box of donuts that Andrew picked up, some coffee, and we're gonna watch the storm roll on through.
Right to us.
We've just kind of watched our neighboring states get wrecked. The forecasters that we watch on YouTube, the tornado warnings are literally 28 active tornado warnings, 12 on top of each other, new ones rolling in. There's active tornadoes on the ground. It's done so much damage to neighborhoods and schools, and I don't think any fatalities have been reported yet, thank goodness. Definitely a lot of injuries. It's a terrifying storm. We do have a plan. So we have like our bedroom, obviously to get away from the windows. Our bathroom has 2 doors. This one closes, so this is probably like our best bet of like an enclosed area away from windows. We can kind of work with the mattress, putting that on top of ourselves. We have helmets for the boys. So that's the plan right now.
They quickly made a shelter-in-place plan in the hotel bathroom, using mattresses and giving the kids helmets in case the storm got worse. Although the tornado narrowly missed them, the thought of how close it came stayed with them. In the days after, the danger shifted from high winds to rising water. A flood warning was issued, and their RV park, right next to a river and below a dam, showed signs it could overflow. Roads in the area started flooding, and more rain was expected for several days. To make things harder, the whole family came down with a flu-like illness, adding to their vulnerability.
All right, so we are back in the camper. It is a couple days after the incident, the tornado that touched down next to us. Terrifying. Unfortunately, for the next few days, we were under a severe flood warning. So just driving around the other day, we discovered that our RV park where we're at, it's literally just surrounded by the rivers. And as we were driving by the rivers, they were literally like hugging the road. They were already so high, and we're next to a dam as well, like right underneath the dam. So we're supposed to get about 8 to 10 inches of rain over the next few days. We're just jumping right into the next severe weather hazard for our area. Oh, on top of that, we're all sick. Oh my gosh, the kids have been throwing up, fever, runny stuffed nose, the whole bit. So bad. I'm starting to get a little bit of like a throat thing. So whatever it is, it's not good. It's really not good.
Kat and Andy's experience shows the real dangers of living in a mobile home during severe weather and how quickly a calm day can turn into a fight to stay safe. They did everything they could to prepare, but in the end, survival came down to luck and timing. In an RV, there's no basement for shelter, and if a storm heads your way, sometimes the road just isn't long enough to get you out of danger. On April 11, 2023, Natasha, host of the Quest Out West YouTube channel, shared a deeply personal and anxiety-filled trip into the wilderness of British Columbia. What began with excitement and optimism ended in fear, isolation, and a sobering rethink of solo van life. Living full-time in a Dodge Grand Caravan with her 3 cats, Natasha set out to find a free camping spot near Squamish, making the most of the warmer weather. After stocking up on supplies, she followed GPS directions to a location she'd found on the iOverlander app. But what started as a routine drive quickly took a far more unsettling turn.
Now that the weather is finally warm enough to do this and I'm in Squamish, I'm gonna go look for a spot where we can camp tonight. But first we get supplies.
As Natasha drove farther from the main road, her sense of unease grew. The terrain got rougher, the path tighter, and the area more isolated. A narrow cliffside trail with no space to turn around sent her into a panic. Her van, not built for such rough conditions, began sliding backward on the slope. Shaken, she gave up on the route and decided to head back to Cat Lake, a place she knew and could access more easily. Even after parking near what seemed like a safe fork in the road, the anxiety didn't fade. The unsettling surroundings, the abandoned vehicles, including what looked like a crashed RV, and not knowing if camping there was even allowed, left her on edge.
I'm starting to get a little nervous because we seem to be driving out a lot further than I anticipated. I'm following my GPS that's guiding me to a place that I saw on iOverlander. Feels like we're just driving forever into the abyss. And yep, I'm a little nervous. We just turned off the highway. This is where we are, and there are people here, so I know that I won't die. That's good.
Her fears weren't without reason. She wondered if the vehicle she'd seen earlier had actually gone over the edge. Trying to make the best of things, she set up her camp stove on top of her cat carriers, but a new wave of unease washed over her. Strange, almost human sounds echoed from the forest, high-pitched and unnatural, like something from the Predator movie. Natasha froze, feeling anything but safe. Then came the sound of footsteps approaching, triggering her fight-or-flight response. Thankfully, the people walked past without incident, heading up the decommissioned road she had been too afraid to take earlier.
Stunned and stressed out at the same time. Check this out. That is stunning. But at the same time, I'm concerned that in the middle of the night that we're going to accidentally roll down the hill or something. Or maybe even just get hit by somebody else coming down this road. And I'm scared to go further in because I don't know if this car can handle these roads. So this is where we are. We're gonna stay here and have dinner and then figure out the next step. I'm a little close to the road, but I was also afraid while I was parking that I was gonna like either drive off the cliff or get stuck in a pothole or something. All of these things would not be good. Is that a crashed plane? I don't think it's a plane, but it might be a crashed RV. Somebody that actually did go off this edge. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Is that supposed to be a bird? Because it sounds like the predator. I truly don't feel safe here. I'm slowly taking things out of the van because I'm trying to find something to prop up the camp stove with, because this is going to hang off the side if I put them here. And as I'm doing this, I realize how I'm becoming increasingly more vulnerable as I take stuff out of the van. It's not like I could just slam the door shut and take off, because I gotta put all this stuff back in the van. And then I'm hearing this weird sound from the woods. Okay, there are people coming. Either they're coming to keep me company or we're gonna find out. Stay tuned. So they didn't kill me, but they didn't stay. They all went up that road that I was afraid to go up. Good news is I think I figured out the camp stove thing. I think we're gonna do this. I think this works. It's obviously very low to the ground. I'm going to probably sit on my toolbox.
Alone and feeling more vulnerable by the minute, Natasha cooked a simple dinner while fighting the strong urge to pack up and leave. Her mind raced through worst-case scenarios: sliding off a cliff, getting stuck in mud, running into wild animals, or breaking down in an area with poor cell service and no quick help. She even started questioning whether wild camping was worth it anymore. What once felt like a dream of connecting with nature had turned into a night ruled by fear. As darkness closed in, she gave up on the idea of sleeping there. Every sound from the woods felt like danger creeping closer. She quickly stuffed everything back into the van, moving in a rush. The drive out wasn't any easier, especially with a truck riding her bumper so closely. It made her fear being forced off the road.
I started driving. The sign in front of me told me that I can't turn left, so I turned right. And it's pitch black, no lights on the side of the road. I have trouble seeing at night. I really don't like driving at night. And then I start realizing there's nowhere to pull off and nowhere to turn around for like forever, and I'm possibly going to end up in Whistler. Then on top of it, a truck starts driving behind me, really right up on my, like, tailgating me, and with his high beams on or whatever, and he's doing it on purpose. And I'm going like 85 in a 90. It's not like I'm going too slow. I'm just going too slow for him. And I saw a turnoff for a lookout, but he was right on my ass. I couldn't even slow down, so he almost ran me off the road, and there was nothing else I could do.
She finally pulled into a familiar Walmart parking lot, choosing it as her safe spot for the night. While she didn't say exactly what she did once she got there, the message was clear. Safety now mattered more than adventure. Physically drained and emotionally worn out, Natasha ended the day unsure if she'd attempt another solo wilderness camping trip anytime soon. The YouTube channel Grassman58 is known for its subtle and low-key exploration of mysterious wilderness phenomena. This video is a good example of that style. The creator takes viewers to a remote stream bed deep in a forest near Colville, Washington, where he finds something both interesting and unsettling: a series of large human-like footprints that are hard to explain.
Okay, it's August 28th, Sunday morning. At about 9:35 a.m. I came across what appears to be tracks along this stream bed. Not sure exactly what made them. I'm not jumping and saying that whatever it is what I'm thinking, but I'll just show you. First impression, marked with a Coke can. And you can see I got more cans set up going in that direction. Come over, kind of make out the heel, possibly, maybe even a toe. Then we come over, another impression.
While examining the banks of a cold mountain stream near his campsite, he starts to notice impressions in the ground. At first they're shallow, but they become deeper as he follows them. To help show their size, he places soda cans next to some tracks and even makes a plaster cast to preserve the clearest print. The footprints measure about 15 to 19 inches long and around 7 inches wide. One print sinks about 2 inches into the soil, showing that whoever or whatever made it was quite heavy.
But you can see the stride is pretty good distance from one another. Now, I'm not saying that this is Bigfoot, but sure looks interesting. Look at this one again. You can kind of see the heel area right here, outline of the foot. That definitely looks like a big toe to me. But I'm not a foot expert, so I'm not sure. This one is iffy, but it's there. Kind of see the impression where the dirt's got pushed back. Maybe some toes here, possibly. Just seems like kind of a small heel. But this track is very interesting, so I casted it. It's at least a inch and a half in, but definitely some toes here. Couldn't really make out if there was a fifth toe or not, but I casted it just to be on the safe side.
He notes that the tracks follow a clear path, possibly coming down from the hillside and crossing the stream. Even more interesting is the stride length, up to 5.5 feet between steps. For comparison, the average human stride is about 2.5 feet. This suggests a two-legged creature with unusually long legs and great height. The consistent direction, spacing, and size of the footprints all point to something unlike any known animal.
What it measures out to be. About 15, it's a little over 15 inches long. About 7 inches again. Pretty interesting. Distance between center of the toe or center of the foot to other foot.
He also spots what he calls fresh scat nearby, though he can't say what animal it came from. This adds another layer to the mystery. It's clear something large had been in the area not long before he arrived. He also points out how freezing cold the stream is. Not just chilly, but cold enough to discourage anyone from walking through barefoot. That makes it hard to believe a person crossed it intentionally, especially with such long strides and no signs of shoe or boot prints. The uploader's theory is that if it was a human, they'd have to be extremely tall, barefoot, and comfortable moving through icy water in the middle of nowhere.
I'm not sure, but maybe it came down from that direction, across the stream, which is freaking ice cold. Maybe that's the track. I'm not sure. Maybe one there. Not too sure if that's a toe imprint or not. kind of kicked up there a little bit. You can see, but not sure. Possible another, maybe a toe. Not real sure about that. Not sure about this. Could be bear. Could be anything, actually. I don't know.
The video ends without any dramatic reveal or confrontation. The encounter stays truly unexplained, and often it's that lingering mystery that's more unsettling than anything actually seen on camera. On May 15, 2025, this clip was shared on Angry Cajun TV, a channel run by seasoned investigator Bayou, founder of BA Paranormal and Research. Known for exploring places most people avoid, Bayou brings over 20 years of experience and a no-nonsense approach to separating hoaxes from real phenomena. In this particular footage, what began as a routine daytime exploration in the woods near his property quickly escalated into a tense encounter with something that clearly did not want him there.
Hey, we're out on the ranch because, well, I'm gonna be 100%. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I didn't feel like sitting in the studio watching fake ghost hunter. I just didn't. I just didn't feel like it. So I grabbed my camera and I came out back. Let's just see what happens.
The area is Bayou's own property, with dense woods and the remains of an old cabin that's long been rumored to hold lingering spiritual energy. This wasn't meant to be a planned investigation, but he felt the urge to look around. As he moved past the tree line, he noticed the place felt strange, like the pressure in the air was building. Then he spotted a tree that was partly twisted and unnaturally uprooted, far too large for any known animal to have done. This set the stage for what happened next.
I don't know, this camera you probably can't see it, but right over there, there's a tree that's about that size that is pulled down and twisted. I heard somebody talking. It's pulled down and twisted, okay? A lot of people would say, oh no, that's something big, it's a Bigfoot. Somebody said it's a UFO, it's not a UFO. There's no portal back here. It's ridiculous. But I'm sure there's something in nature, you know, the wind and rain that would do that, right? I mean, like, there's not some 18-foot tall creature out here grabbing giant trees and twisting them over, is there? I kind of hope so. That's the crazy part.
As he goes deeper, he begins to see large shadows moving quickly through the underbrush. These aren't tricks of the light or quick flashes. They're solid dark shapes that block the sunlight and keep appearing in different parts of the woods, almost like they're circling him. Even though it's the middle of the day, the forest feels lifeless. The birds are silent, and even the insects make little noise, leaving an eerie, unsettling quiet in the area.
There's something over there. Likelihood of it being an animal is kind of slim, just because of the fact that dogs run everything off. And it's not making any noise. Well, now that's a noise. I don't know, I hear stuff, but it doesn't sound. I swear I just heard get out. I'm not 100% sure.
The location holds the remains of an old cabin said to be haunted by a spirit named Jimmy, a presence Bayou claims to have interacted with before. But this visit feels different, heavier. As he moves deeper into the area, the dark shapes seem to edge closer, almost deliberately steering him away from the ruins. He says his camera even picks up odd activity, tree branches moving with no wind, bursts of static, and large dark figures flickering in and out of the frame.
Something huge and black popped its head out right there. Anyway, there was a cabin here that was all dilapidated. We tore it down. Supposedly there's a ghost that lives in the torn down cabin named Jimmy. And I keep saying supposedly. No, it's really, like, I've talked to him multiple times. Sometimes he talks, sometimes he doesn't. Right now, there's a really eerie, weird feeling out here.
At one point, Bayou says he felt something touch his head, a moment that made his dogs instantly alert and gather around him. Then the sounds began. Clear voices can be heard in the video, sharply saying, "Get out," and "Leave." Not just once, but several times, coming from an unseen source. He scans the trees, but sees no one. Even though he's armed, experienced, and confident, he starts to feel surrounded, not just physically, but spiritually. Dark shapes seem to guide him away from the cabin, pushing him toward the edge of the forest.
I don't know, I hear stuff, but it doesn't sound... I swear I just heard "get out." I'm not 100% sure. I don't know why some days are worse than others, but like today, like it's got a weird eerie feeling out here, but at the same time, it's like you're being surrounded by quiet. Like there's just these big black blobs jumping around. And okay, you want to say that's the sun in shadows, but how come it happens when the sun isn't out? Like, explain that one, okay? Like, and it happens constantly. They're everywhere.
As he steps into a clearing, the uneasy feeling fades and the activity stops. Whether the presence was just lingering energy or something aware is up for debate. What's clear is that it wanted him gone. When an experienced investigator with security and over 20 years in the field decides to back away from an investigation in broad daylight, it says a lot. As always, it's up to you to decide what you think happened. This footage comes from the YouTube channel Exploration Unknown, run by John, who spent 8 years exploring and camping in abandoned places. In this video, he camps at an old farmstead deep in the woods, drawn by its decay rather than its rumored hauntings. On November 9th, 2017, as night falls and eerie shadows creep in, John begins filming, unaware that the night will take a disturbing turn unrelated to the relics of the past.
See, I wasn't kidding about being in the woods. I'm coming up on some structures here. I have to kind of walk off the woods a little bit to get this place. Look at this. It's out here in the middle of nothing. It's a big barrel. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That really freaked me out when I first saw it. Which is weird because it's like somebody's jacket just hanging there. Look at all this stuff here. Now that is a relic of the past. It's like an old 80s printer. So cool. Look at all these little spindly things here. Looks like something that could be used on a turn lathe. So this way. This whole building here is just... looks like over here it's starting to collapse in the back a little bit.
As John explores the farmstead, he's drawn in by the crumbling buildings and remnants of a forgotten time. Though he feels mostly at ease, a faint unease lingers. Something isn't quite right, but he can't pinpoint why. Choosing to ignore it, he presses on, eager to see what more this eerie place might hold.
Barn, garage. Oh, I'm falling through something. Oh, look. Oh, wow. Look at that metal. That actually still got, oh wow, these are unopened. Wonder how old this is. It's unopened motor oil. That's really cool. There's a bunch of cans up here. Oh wow, how long has it been since you've seen those McDonald's bags? most saws. This is probably not the safest structure to be inside of right now. It is all collapsed everywhere around me except there's one little spot I'm in. Crazy. Yeah, this is cool. Look at all that grease. I'm gonna drop my camera in that. Some old belts here. Still a pretty solid looking old barn except for that corner. Oh, I just love being out in the woods at night. Something really freaking cool about it.
John continues exploring the farmstead, fully immersed in its eerie yet fascinating atmosphere. After covering most of the property, he feels satisfied with his discoveries and takes a short break at his camp. What he doesn't realize at the time is that his camera has just captured something truly disturbing in the background. John had set out for what he thought would be a typical night of exploring, expecting nothing more than the usual excitement of uncovering forgotten places. But something was watching him from the shadows. It's easy to miss at first, but when the footage is slowed down, frame by frame, a faint figure in white can be seen standing unnervingly still beside a tree. Completely unaware of what his camera had captured, John carried on with his night as usual. It wasn't until he uploaded the video to his channel that he noticed the figure lurking in the distance. The realization sent a chill down his spine. He hadn't been alone after all. He felt both relieved he hadn't seen it in the moment and uneasy wondering what might have happened if he had. Nick and Julie, a couple known for their peaceful van life and outdoor adventures on their YouTube channel, Nick and Julie, usually share calm hikes, scenic drives, and nights spent deep in nature, far from anyone else. This trip was meant to be no different, a relaxing evening starting with a hike through Kentucky's stunning Red River Gorge, followed by camping overnight in a secluded spot within the Daniel Boone National Forest. They had no reason to think anything out of the ordinary would happen, but the wilderness has a way of delivering surprises you never see coming.
We just came from all the way back there. This is way more than 100 feet. It is 65 feet tall and 75 feet across.
Nick and Julie are soaking in a perfect day. Sunlight streams through the trees as they ride the sky lift to the top of the Natural Bridge, one of the region's most famous sandstone landmarks. On the hike back down, the fresh scent of pine drifts around them, and the fading blooms of rhododendron glow in the soft afternoon light. Every moment feels like a small piece of their adventure to savor.
Check this out. They're huge, just in my hand. Colors are so pretty. Wow. On the way back to the parking lot, back to the camper from the Natural Bridge. It said it's supposed to be a 3-mile hike, but it definitely feels like 4. We're gonna get to the camper and then we're gonna head out and try to find a spot for the night. Since we've never been here before, it might take a little bit of time to find a good spot. And here in Daniel Boone National Forest, you are allowed to camp in the forest. You just need to get a permit, which we did earlier today. So we need to find a good spot before it gets too dark and we're stuck making dinner.
After wandering for a while, Nick and Julie find what appears to be the perfect campsite beside a quiet creek. The air is still, and the only sound is the gentle trickle of water. But as dusk settles in, the shadows between the trees grow longer and darker. While they unpack and start getting dinner ready, little things begin to catch their attention. Subtle, out-of-place details that make the peaceful setting feel slightly wrong.
It's pretty quiet and peaceful. We haven't seen anyone around yet, but some things are kind of sketchy around here. First of all, there's a bottle of alcohol in the tree. And then there's a bunch of shells. There's a shotgun shell. There's a gun cartridge there. There's some broken glass. There's another cartridge. When we were driving in, we broke our V-boost antenna. Probably got snagged on a tree branch or something. I'm feeling creeped out right now.
Yeah, I think so.
People sometimes come here to party and or something, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and they drive four-wheelers and stuff.
Yeah,
'cause
this is all like
there's tire tracks and
mud, so hopefully it'll be a quiet night.
it should be. We've been here for like an hour. There's nobody driving.
They focus on cooking, but the campsite still feels a bit uneasy. Once the meal is ready, they try to enjoy it. It looks good, but then something breaks the quiet.
Yeah, add some more Parmesan cheese on top. Very good.
Let's give this a try. I'm really hungry from the hike that we did. That's really good. That's delicious. While we were making dinner, some like 2 4-wheelers drove up from the woods, and they kind of just like parked in front of our truck and camper, and they just stood there for about like, how long do you think it was? Like a good 20 minutes.
Yeah.
2 4-wheelers came out of the woods and stopped right in front of their camper. The engines went silent, but the riders stayed seated, saying nothing. They just watched. It's unclear if they're passing through or want something, but in a forest with no cell service and no one around to hear you, that kind of silence feels unsettling.
They already left, but I don't know if I want to stay here. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it's worth the risk or whatever, just in case.
Yeah, we're not sure what it was all about.
Yeah.
If it was just, they're just standing there for no reason, or if they just don't want people staying here.
Who
or,
knows?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
they
sure.
didn't say anything. They just parked in front of the truck.
Yeah, so it's
for
kind of
20
weird.
minutes.
There's no service here,
Yeah.
and it's just in the middle of the woods. There's no one here, so we don't know what that was all about.
I think it's best to just pack up and leave at this point, just in case. Who knows? Better be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
After a while, the 4-wheelers rode off into the forest without saying a thing, but the uneasy feeling stayed. Nick and Julie had no idea who those people were or what they wanted. One thing was certain, spending the night here no longer seemed like a good idea. They packed up. It's strange how quickly calm can turn into discomfort, how a bottle in a tree or a shell casing on the ground can change the way a place feels. Some spots seem inviting, others quietly tell you it's time to leave, and sometimes you just listen. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.